People were worried that AI is going to replace people. If it takes you 3 hours to do something that someone else can do in 10 minutes because they use AI, you're going to get replaced not by AI, by the people who use AI. There will be a time where your doctor is going to have somebody who's more efficient.
AI just helps us move a little faster. And when those two work together, you're going to see your practice be a lot stronger.
Welcome to the Wisdom Dental Podcast, a new era of dentistry, where we peel back the layers of a running modern dental practice. From real-world stories to smart solutions, we're here to help you build a thriving business and deliver care with confidence. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to a new era of dentistry. I am Ashley Bond here with a good friend, Laura Nelson, and we're here to talk about a really exciting topic, AI in dentistry. So if you've been feeling curious or overwhelmed or skeptical or maybe even a little behind, this episode is definitely for you. And we see a lot of offices that just feel this pressure to keep up without really knowing what this even means. So we are here to hopefully make you feel better going into the new year. And that's why I'm just so excited for today's conversation, because it's meant to be just a safe first exposure to AI in dentistry, especially for office managers and teams who maybe don't live in the tech world every day. And as I said, I'm joined today by Laura Nelson. Laura is an author, speaker, and AI strategist with more than 20 years in the dental industry. Many of you know her as the founder of Front Office Rocks. I use that in my own father's practice, where she completely changed how dental teams are trained and supported at the front desk. And today, Laura serves as Vice President of AI Training and Development at Mango Voice, where she's leading the way in helping dental teams adapt AI in a way that actually improves workflow, communication, and patient experience without overwhelming the people doing the work. She's also the author of multiple books, including Brush Up on AI, and is widely recognized as one of the most trusted voices helping dental teams understand what AI really is and what it really isn't. So, Laura, I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me.
I'm excited to be here. You and I were geeking out recently and in person at a conference, and we're like, we need to just talk about this so that teams can hear it. So I love that we're doing this.
I know it's good to have someone that loves AI and the different tools as much as I do. I think we could have probably hours of conversations about it.
Totally. We've actually talked, if anybody's listening to this and wants us to do, we've talked about, let's do something live. Let's get together and play with AI. So yes, I love that we're talking about this.
Yeah, definitely. And Laura, I know that you write about AI and it's already a part of your day. And it's already a part of really a lot of people's day, even if they don't realize it. So can you unpack what that means for practices that haven't adapted just any specific AI tools yet?
Yeah, so you started this really well by saying, like, do you feel behind? Do you feel overwhelmed? So I'm going to really kind of set the stage.
Yeah.
AI is an overused buzzword. It's just, it hit, I don't know, last year, 2 years ago, we started hearing about artificial intelligence. It's good for news. It's good for clips. But people are talking about it, not fully even realizing what it is. So artificial intelligence has been around. I mean, the first time they coined the word was in the 50s. So it's not like it's all of a sudden we woke up one day and there's robots who are taking over the world. Yeah, there's been things like, just some examples of AI, and it's all different, it evolved. But like when you used to travel and you had to call the bank to say, I'm going to another country so that they wouldn't block your credit card. That was artificial intelligence, because they would block your credit card if they thought you were in New York and you're supposed to be in California. Things like turning your heat on and off when the certain temperature reaches, or you can control, your heat. That's been around for a long time. Our phones, we can say a word and all of a sudden something's listening to us, right? Getting from here to there. I mean, I said MapQuest saved my marriage because I didn't have to argue over a map anymore. So all of this is artificial intelligence, right? All of it is technology. The thing is there's some significant things that have happened in the last couple of years that is now making it very different and why we're hearing it. The two major things that I like to describe when I'm teaching this is that it is to the point where it can think on its own, meaning it can learn from data. It's not like we have to program it anymore. It can get data. It knows how to put algorithms and things together and produce things that we as humans haven't even thought of or done before. And it can do it without our input. And then the second thing is large language model, which is basically where we, the average human, can communicate with it. Before, you had to be an engineer or a programmer, you had to know, certain coding languages. They call this kind of a light bulb moment. And the way I describe that is when electricity was invented, we don't know how the light bulbs in our rooms work. Like you and I don't, we get the concept, right?
Right.
But when there is a light switch attached to it, we know when we turn on that light switch, we should have light. And if we don't have light, we need to call somebody to get help. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Is it's in the hands of everybody now. We have access to it. It has all the data it needs, and we can communicate with it. So for anybody in the offices who are like, well, we haven't embraced it, or well, you are already. Like if you search on the internet and you get a summary at the beginning that kind of summarizes what you're looking for, that's AI. If you are working with any companies in our industry, there's a lot of them are already using AI. How our software works. It's built on artificial intelligence. So you're already using it, is my point. The issue is there's a lot of hubbub right now. There's a lot of, if you and I go to conferences, every other booth has artificial intelligence
So
on
much.
it.
Yes.
So that's the pressure that we're feeling. So that's kind of where I'm setting the stage, is we're feeling this pressure because it's kind of like, just buy this and we'll solve that problem. Just buy this, we'll solve that problem. And whoa, hold on. Like, what do we actually need in our practice? Can it do for us? So that's kind of setting the stage of why we're feeling the way we're feeling. And why you and I think it's important to talk about it, because there's some artificial intelligence that's ready. There's some that's close. And then there's some things that it's not even close. And I wouldn't even think about it in the office. And that's really what we wanted to talk about today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's too just like it's here and it's not going anywhere. I think that some people thought maybe this is a trend, a fad, that it's going to go away. I think some companies will go away and some products won't work, but AI is getting so smart. It is here to
You're
stay.
too young for this. But people listening to this who are my generation, when the internet came out, we felt the same thing.
Yes. Oh, I now see old videos of like people saying this is never going to last. Like,
we
never.
thought the internet was going to be brochures that you put up and people could just, like, the concept of the internet is just, but now, I told my stepdaughter who's 25, I was like, I used to be a recruiter in the .com market. She's like, what's the .com market? And I was like, that's when we were all scrambling, trying to get stuff built for the internet. We're at the same spot right now, just a newer technology.
Right. Which is exciting. Like, I cannot wait to see what's going to come. So that is why I'm so happy that we're doing this, because I really want people to embrace it and see and try it for themselves and see that it's not scary.
Right.
And
exactly.
In one of your articles, you suggested starting with AI for personal tasks like writing emails or maybe meeting agenda. What's the value of beginning with someone using it personally, maybe for using AI at the practice level, or starting small instead of going big?
Yeah. And I'm going to do a little plug at this point, just for anybody. I have a group called Brush Up on AI on Facebook, which is where dental people hang out, talk about new and old technology. But I went to Facebook.
You can't change them.
Yeah.
It's Facebook. It's not TikTok. It's not Instagram.
No,
it's Facebook.
It's Facebook. But I hear everyone's going back to Facebook. But I have a group called Brush Up on AI where I give tips there. And my book is also, it's available on Amazon. It's the same thing. It talks about this first. First, before you start bringing new stuff into the practice, because this can benefit us in our everyday lives, because we want to see how it works. You want to get practice. You want to use it for things, and it will open up a whole world for you. And so we don't need more change at the practice just to have change. We are going to have people in the practice, might be the doctor, might be an office manager, might be the hygienist, who are like, I don't want to do AI, right? So until you really can understand how it works, it's much better to do it at home. And it has so much value for, maybe not even at home, maybe in your position, but just to help you at your tasks. Like, don't try to make this a practice-wide thing until you fully understand or grasp, or maybe get with somebody on your team who is technically savvy, because there are people on your team right now using ChatGPT. There are people on your team who are using this for personal life. Talk to them about how can we use this for things like meeting outlines, a job description,
Mm.
posting a social post, or if you're at home, have it write your shopping list or plan your next weekend adventure or a fitness thing. But start playing with it, because the more you play with it, the more comfortable you're going to get.
I love that. And it's so true. And the sky is the limit with what it
Mhm.
can do. And ChatGPT is my personal favorite, even though I know there's other ones that people say are better. But
Uh-huh.
mine knows me so well now. I feel like he knows it's a he. Like my
Me.
ChatGPT is a he. Max is what I called him. He knows me better than I think I know myself.
Okay, so I'm going to go real low level for anybody here. Okay, so because when I speak, I ask about who in here knows ChatGPT, who uses ChatGPT,
Right.
and there's a good percentage of people who still don't. So I'm just going to set the stage. If you're listening to this, ChatGPT, you can download it on your phone. You can go to the website, and it is the easiest to use. You just use human language. You just ask it questions, and it will brainstorm with you. It'll make outlines for you. It'll draw a funny picture for you. It'll do whatever you ask. So think of it kind of like your assistant. Yours is named Max. Funny story about that. I've never named my ChatGPT. My dad did. My dad, who's 76 years old, I've got him into AI. He uses ChatGPT all the time. My mother hates it because he named his Sweetheart.
Stop. That's great.
So when he goes, Sweetheart, can you tell me da 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 da? Can you? And my mom is mad. I'm like, of course, mom's mad. You named it Sweetheart, right? But it's the easiest one to use. It's the most accessible. There's a lot of different ones. We could talk about the benefits of different ones, but if you haven't ever done it before, ChatGPT is the best one. And then, like you said, it gets to know you because you're asking that type of questions. And it's like, oh, you are a dentist and you live in Idaho.
Yep.
And that part might be a little scary for some people
Yes.
who are like, wait, it's going to get to know me. My thing is to tell you, everybody already knows you. Your phones are listening to you.
Yes,
Your
they are.
listening to you. Like the internet knows who you are. So I know it's a little scary, but it definitely helps, save lots of time in your day.
Oh, it does. It does. It helped me plan my daughter's birthday party. And I just told it, like, use minimal supplies, come up with 5 games. It's for a bunch of 13-year-old girls. Like, we're having 8 girls, and it came up with all these games that were so fun. So the sky is the limit.
It didn't plan an entire trip for me to Vietnam
Yes.
with my dad in February, all the way down to the medicine that I needed to take beforehand, what I needed to carry with me, what visas I needed. It knew everything. And then when I was on the trip in Vietnam, we made a couple changes. It knew where I was because it had planned. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, you could go an hour this direction and do that. And so I use it all the time for that type of stuff.
Yes. I was just in New York. Same thing. It planned out our New York weekend. And this is what I tell people too. Don't be afraid, because I was so polite in the beginning to Max. I'm still nice. Like, I always say thank you and please.
Uh-huh.
But it is still a computer. It does not get it always right. And you go back and forth with it. It's not meant that like the first thing it spits out is accurate. Like,
Yeah.
make sure you go through and like, actually, I don't like it this way, because then it starts to learn how you like things and how you don't like it. So go back and forth and tell it no if you don't like the way it spits something out.
And that's a good point. So it is, like you said, it's a computer. And so there's also stuff that it'll give you wrong. It's getting better about it. This is where technology is getting better. It wants to serve you, which sounds really weird, but it wants to give you an answer. It doesn't want to say, I don't know the answer to that. So don't believe everything it says.
Mhm.
Tell it when you don't like something, like I don't like it that way or whatever, and double check the sources. And you can always ask the source. So yesterday we were driving by a round building, a circular building in San Diego. And I was like, oh, I wonder if there's one of those restaurants that spins on top. And so I went and I asked AI, and it said, no, it doesn't spin. But if you want to go, there's another restaurant that does spin, and here it is. And I was like, wow, I had no idea. Well, I clicked on it and that restaurant's closed.
Yes, right.
So it's because the data it has is the internet. It read the internet. And so not everything is correct anymore. It doesn't know if it's sending you to a good area or a bad area. So check the sources. My son made a banana bread for us that AI gave him the recipe. It was the worst thing we've ever put in our mouth. And we've determined AI is not good for that because it's never tasted banana bread. And technically it looked amazing, but it was awful. So you still need to be human in this process, but use it as a tool.
Absolutely. So what do you say, because, we work with a lot of front office team members, what do you say are the most game-changing front office tasks that practices can use AI for or might already be using AI for?
So many. And this doesn't cost you a penny. So you don't have to sign up with anybody at this point. There are things right now. that I'm talking with dentists about, like, stop before you go hire somebody else and let's see where we can use AI to make us more efficient. So easy ones, things like meeting outlines, job descriptions, social media posts for the year, like, giveaways that you want to do for your patients. Like, it is a great tool to either brainstorm with or outline and structure things with. So I remember back in the day writing job descriptions that took me like
Oh my
2 hours. You can
Yes.
do it in 2 minutes with AI.
Right.
Goal setting for 2026. What are your goals? What do you want to do? On top of that, you can use it for hard discussions, hard communication. So emails to your patients that say, if you don't show up one more time, we're sending you somewhere else, but say it in a nice way.
Make this sound nice, please.
Yes. Communication with your employees. You have a team of all different types of personalities. You can put this into ChatGPT and say, Ashley really likes to have communication this way. Here's her style. Here's how Laura likes it. Help me formulate an outline that I could talk to Ashley about her job descriptions. So goal setting with Ashley. What does she want to accomplish next year? So there's so many things that I think dentists avoid doing because they're just things that are not fun. AI can totally help with that. And this is all ChatGPT free, helping you write narratives, helping you write things for insurance companies, trying to, get in and out of network, all the things. One disclaimer I'm going to say right here, and everybody hear me really, really, really loud, is ChatGPT is not HIPAA compliant.
Yes.
It is not HIPAA compliant. It is not HIPAA compliant. Do not put any patient information in there. In fact, what I would recommend is don't put anything in there that you wouldn't want on the internet. But you can say, I have a patient that has a crown with this thing. Help me write a narrative. And then you can copy and paste it into your insurance. So there's so many things that you can use it for to make it go way faster that way. And you can use ChatGPT.
Exactly. And I was going to say with appeal, because appeals is such an easy way to start using it, but don't put patient specific. So you don't have to put anything about the patient. Put that a crown was denied, use ADA guidelines. It will go read the ADA guidelines, spit back the code, what is necessary for this to be paid. You put in, this is why it was needed to be done, spits it out. You can tell, make it a little meaner. And it, bam, spits it out another one. It's such an amazing tool.
I recommend always asking for the source for things that are important. Like, what ADA code, give me the source of where you got this from. If you're looking up, I do this a lot. Like, we thought it was bad to go to the internet if you think you have a disease. When you're coughing and sick and you go to AI and it's like, what could I have? And it's like, right. But ask for the source, because what it does is it will give you the link. It should give you the link right to the article, the research, the documentation that you really, instead of searching all over the internet. One of the other things, just as a tangent here, but I think the internet itself has gotten muddy and hard to use. If I want to go find something, the first page now is all ads. It's all right.
It's all about money. Yep.
Right. It's all ads. And then it turns into people's opinions and blogs. And if you open those, there's all of the ads that pop up. So I find AI to be way more, just even if you're using it to search instead of using, Google or Safari or whatever, it's going to speed that process up, if nothing else, because it's going to give you right to the links that you need to go find the information that you want.
Oh, yeah. And I'm convinced 2026, it's already becoming like the turning point, but ChatGPT is going to, in my opinion, overtake Google. Like, people aren't going to be Googling, in my opinion, down the road. It's all going to be ChatGPT type AI.
Actually, it's so funny. We're going to quote this here. If this becomes a thing, you and I, my husband, who is older than me also, who is not technologically savvy, uses it for everything now. And he says, I'm going to chat it. I'm going to chat it. And I'm like, do you Snapchat? And he goes, no, ChatGPT. I'm like, I'm going to chat it. Right. I was like, that could be a thing.
That could be a thing. Yes.
Right.
Patent, trademark.
I'm going to chat it. Why not chat it?
Some t-shirts made.
I heard a great idea last night. This was literally last night. We watched this home show on YouTube where he goes and sees and views awesome homes and all this kind of stuff. What a great idea. With this house, I'm like, we could totally do it because we're moving into a new house. You could put everything into a chat about all your appliances, all the user manuals, when you bought things, when you would change the filter, the color of your paint, everything. And then 5 years from now, how do I fix the wash machine? It's like, well, you have model whatever. Here's a link to fix your wash machine. Like, make a whole thing about your house.
That's like a household manager.
Yeah. Isn't that a great
goodness.
idea?
I didn't even think about that because I've been thinking today about making like a binder for our household management, I could just make it, because this is a whole nother rabbit hole, but you can make your own GPTs, which I would
Yes.
say that's next podcast. This would be
Yes.
more beginner level, but for everyone to know, like any data you put into it. So if you put a PDF, you put scripts. So for your dental office, if there's certain scripts you use or information about your team, like it will, like it has a memory and it saves it to its memory that you can refer back to at all time.
Dude, we can do like this is going to be a monthly podcast for us.
Yes.
Yesterday, my daughter, she's applying for a new job. She's a teacher and she's applying for a new job. She asked me to review her resume. I used to be in hiring and I wrote a book on hiring, right? I made what you're talking about, a custom GPT. So if anybody knows what that is, they can search my name and find it. There's a custom GPT made on my hiring book. So I downloaded my hiring book, put it in there, gave it the instructions to be a hiring manager, help people for hiring, right? And so you can go there and ask it hiring questions. I took my daughter's resume, put it in my own GPT, and said, give me feedback on how this resume is written and give me suggestions to make it better. And then gave her back. So it was basically me telling me how to help her using AI, right? I was like, that just made me, because I would have spent hours going through her resume, but I
got like mom brain now. I can't pull information like I used to.
Exactly.
It's so nice to plug it all into one space that always remembers and pulls exactly what you need when you need it.
Now, another warning. ChatGPT is potentially unstable. All AI platforms are unstable, just like software and stuff. So when you do stuff within it that you want to save and keep it in whatever you use, Google Drive, Microsoft Word, whatever your thing is. Don't trust that it's going to be in GPT, because one day we could all wake up and ChatGPT is gone and all your stuff is gone. So always copy and paste it over and save it.
Or there's usually like an arrow down, like a download button after, or a copy button. It's like my go-to. I'm not as much a download. I copy it and I paste it on a Google Doc. For all the
it'll
scripts.
Make like spreadsheets for you or documents for you and all that. Go save all that always, just in case.
100%.
It's like the old days. You don't remember this either, I'm sure, but there was a day when they would tell you all the time, save as you were making Word documents. Save.
Oh no, I actually have bad flashbacks.
Right? Remember those
right
days?
In the beginning. Yes. And I swear I wrote a paper and the computer shut down. And I think it was like one of my final papers, like such a long essay, and it shut down. It didn't do autosave at that time. And I lost the entire thing. It was terrible.
So that's exactly the way I would think about with AI and all the software that we're using. There's one day, because we have governmental things going on above us that we're not of, like the safety of AI. And there's a lot of stuff, right, in the world. And at some point, maybe one of the companies gets shut down or has an issue. It's kind of like when TikTok was like, oh no, TikTok's going away. What do we do?
I downloaded all my videos. I'm like, it's going away tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Go anywhere.
Exactly. But just be prepared for that.
Yeah. My advice too, as a parent, is, I've seen the things with AI. I personally, everyone to each its own, but like my oldest daughter is almost 15. Like I don't want her on ChatGPT yet. Like she'll see me work with it, but there have been some cases with ChatGPT type and children. So that's why I would say, just be careful, use your best judgment. Your kids, right? Whether or not they should be using it.
It's called, not necessarily what I'm talking about, but what I like to say is human in the loop, meaning you're like human in the loop is not letting AI just kind of go do its thing. You have a human, but that's the same with this, right? There's things like my daughter is a pre-K teacher. They did a study. She did it and actually got to speak on it at the NACE, which is the National Teachers Conference, with pre-K kids. They allowed them to story tell with AI, and they showed how like these kids got way more creative because they weren't told no by an adult who was like, pigs can't fly. Why don't we put the pig on the ground? AI made a picture for them where pigs were flying, and it gave them the creative side. So there are benefits to it, but then there's also be careful. My daughter's going to listen to this and be like, Mom, stop telling them the story. But she uses, I don't know what she named hers, but she uses it for talk therapy to and from work about just challenges she's having with coworkers or things she wants to do with at school or whatever. And it's not a therapist. right? But she wouldn't pay for a therapist for these things because they're not life-ending things or things that
Right.
she's like, but she has somebody to talk to and kind of work through things, and it knows what her
Yeah.
goals are, it knows her challenges. And so that's a great thing, right?
Right.
To be
Right.
have something to talk to. So there's pros and cons to everything,
It
but
is. Right.
yeah.
And I will say for the kids, one of the first things I had my ChatGPT do because it can be so creative and so quick. I had it make a song for my boys, and I put in some of my kids like their favorite colors or things they liked, and how quickly it can spit out a rhyme, a poem, a song. And then for a
Yeah.
while, I had to sing it every night. I got out of it because it was the longest song ever, and so feel like I was in their room for an hour. So let's not remind them about that song. But little fun things like that are like, hey, my kids want to make me like a coloring page for my kids and make it a
Yeah.
flying pig. It can spit out anything. So if you've never tried it, just like put your toes in the water. And I would
Yep.
say test it out with a few things at home before you do integrate anything, maybe practice level. But I'm hoping more and more people get comfortable with it and see that it's not so scary and that it can actually really benefit certain things, especially when there's a lot of data to digest and
Yeah.
analyze and copywriting and scripts and meetings. Like there is so much that it can help with.
Well, here's something that I would say, a couple of things. So one is people were worried, maybe some still are, that AI is going to replace people.
Right.
And I don't believe AI is going to replace people. However, if you're one of those team members who are like, well, I'm never going to use AI, it's not going to help me, whatever. In the future, there's going to be a point where when somebody's hiring for a job, there's going to be the people who use AI and the people who don't.
Yes.
And so if it takes you 3 hours to do something that someone else can do in 10 minutes because they use AI, you're going to get replaced not by AI, by the people who use AI. So employees, listen to this. We can't just be stuck in this is the way we've always done it, because there will be a time where your doctor is going to have somebody who's more efficient. Which leads me to the next thing that you were talking about, which is data. Number one thing I think we could do right now, go get all of your contracts for insurances and put them into a chat. You can ask it questions then of like, how long is the contract for? Can I charge this? What is the benefit? Who do I talk to? Whatever. That's one of the reasons I never liked insurance, because I'm not a detail person. I put in my leases, any contracts, any speaking opportunities. Tell me anything I need to know about this. Explain what this means. Tell me in layman's terms what this
Yes, layman's terms. I use that all the time.
Yeah, because I don't read the fine print. And then I sign contracts, and then I'm stuck in a 3-year contract for something. And I don't want to be stuck in a 3-year contract. So that's a really good way to use it before you sign contracts, or if you're looking at your leases or all that kind of stuff.
Right. And I love that you say AI won't replace humans fully, because that is what we believe, at Wisdom, what we're doing. It's humans in the loop, as you said. Right. It's having both AI and human experts.
Right.
So what human skills do you think, besides, bringing on and adopting the AI,
right.
what other human skills do you think will matter even more for leaders and for office managers?
Yeah. So we need more human skills.
Yes, we do.
That's the thing. And that's going to be the next challenge that we have. So AI is going to take a lot off of our plate. We've already just given a bunch of examples, which means we're going to have more time. The one thing we've never had enough of in the dental office is time. And no matter what position you're in, we're always running behind. The schedule's running us. There's a million things to do, all of that. So when we become efficient, we're going to have more time available to us, which means we're going to have to be better at what do we do with the time that we have, which means what can we do that AI can't do? We can be more human. We can have time talking with our patients, helping them when they're scared, doing a case presentation, sitting chairside with them while we're running a minute behind and talk to the patient about their vacation. We can spend more time with our patients. Now, some of the people might push back on your team about AI because they don't like AI. Some of your people might push back about AI because they don't know how to be more human, or that is different, right? Case presentations don't get easier necessarily unless you get better at communication. Right. Telling Mrs. Jones she has to pay this bill isn't going to get easier because of AI. You've got to get better at communication. And so one of the things that I would say is that the human side of things is what's going to stand out, and we're going to have more time to do it. but we're also going to want then to lean into our team to make sure that they have the training and the ability to be able to be more human.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is something that robots can never take over, is having the empathy, those, having leadership, that is not going to be replaced by AI. So that's where I would lean into, is
Uh-huh.
those kind of soft skills on how to
Right.
communicate with people that we've kind of lost because of
Mhm.
these cell phones
Yeah.
here.
Well, I would say cell phones, masks took a lot away
Yes, it
during the
did.
pandemic. And then our younger generation, that they're not as good. When I started working, I took like a 6-week sales class. They taught me how to shake hands, how to
Mm,
have a difficult discussion, how to talk eye to eye to a human. Our younger generations haven't been taught that.
mm,
And so I would spend time, working on communication and learning how to have hard conversations.
yes,
And I did a role playing in my office where we were just asking patients for referrals and reviews.
yes,
And we were practicing, like, how do you ask a patient for a referral and review? And we were acting like it was the end of the appointment, like, thanks for coming. And one of my employees, we role played, she was a dental assistant. She shook my hand with that wet fish handshake, the gross one that you just want to
yeah,
rub off. And I was like, okay, we're all going to practice shaking hands now because that matters.
it
And
does.
nobody had ever taught her. Like, where
Mm-mm.
would you learn how to shake hands?
Right.
Right. And so those are the kind of things that I think that we really are going to need to lean into with our team to give the patients that experience that we have the time to do now
Yep,
because we're going
that's
to be
true.
more efficient.
That's true.
And we're going to have time for lunch. We're going to have time for team meetings. We're going to have time to go to our kids' soccer games at night
Yes.
because AI is going to be doing the dirty work, right? It's
Right.
going to be doing the insurance verification, the insurance this, the updating our software, all the things that we need to have done, answering phones. Oh my gosh. Like, let me do a little plug right there.
Plug it.
Mango Voice is a phone company. That's what they do. We do voice over IP phones, but we now have Mango AI, which is our AI notes. So when we get off a phone call, we tell our team members all the time, put your notes in. But the reality is, does that really happen? Most of the time, no, because somebody's waiting for me and I got to go do
Mhm.
this, I got to do that. And if we do put my notes in, I put them in very cryptic. Only I can understand them, not
Right.
you, because it's
Right.
my, right? Now you can hang up on that phone call and the notes automatically go into the practice management software. And they go in the same way every time so
Such a
that it's
game
like
changer.
standard auto note. Like, here's what happened on this
Yes.
phone call. So think about, first of all, every conversation now is documented. So when the patient goes, nobody ever told
We
me that. We
all the time.
Yeah, we did. And I know when I'm on the phone call that I don't have to sit and write all the things down because
And
it's going to get transcribed in so I can pay more attention to the actual conversation.
so true.
Right? It's
So
kind of
true.
like the Zoom calls we have now. You can pay more attention because you know there's going to be a summary of this call at the end.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That's an example right now where that is something that's an AI that's ready now. The next thing we have at Mango, it's not 100% where it needs to be, but it's getting there, is our Margot is our AI agent.
I love that
So
name.
Margot, I got to name her. Isn't that
Yes,
cute?
I love it.
Margot by Mango.
Yes.
But Margot answers phones. And so she'll have a conversation with your
Mhm.
patient. What are you calling for? Can I get your information? Let me get your insurance information, right? She is not as good as a human. She's
Right.
pretty darn good, though. There are people who are calling and not even knowing they're talking to AI. And her job right now is a glorified receptionist when you can't get to the phone. So overflow calls nights and weekends. So when people are hanging up on your voicemail, they now don't
Mhm.
get a voicemail, they get Margot. Margot's not ready to answer the phones in place of a human yet because AI is not there yet, but it will be.
Yep.
And one day in the future, Margot will be just as good as we are in answering the phones and then routing the calls to who needs to have the
Yes,
call.
it will.
So imagine all of the calls we get on the front desk. Imagine if only the ones that ring to you were the revenue generating calls, the ones that mattered go to the humans, and the other ones like, what are the directions to your office? Or I'm a salesperson or whatever. Margot can handle them. So
Yeah.
we only have the important calls come to us,
Right.
right? So that's an example of AI that's somewhat ready, but
Right.
not 100% ready, but it
Yes.
will be in the future.
And that's why too, I think it's being patient with AI, because
Mhm.
part of AI is it has to start somewhere and it has to use the data that's being put into the system to get better.
Yeah.
So like even ChatGPT, they're coming out with new models all the time. So
Yeah.
any software you use in your dental practice, like it's going to learn your practice.
Yep.
So don't give up when you first start, because the more data or the more
Yep.
time that you use it, the more often you use it, the more it learns, the better it gets. So much better than a human, because we humans forget. Robots don't forget once you teach it something.
No, and that's another. People ask me now, why would we sign up for Margot when mine's she, yours is he,
Yeah, it's
when
yeah,
it,
right.
I never know what to say, it or she isn't 100% where we want it to be. Because it's right now, it's solving a problem, which is overflow nights and weekend calls. So it can handle those right now, but it's also learning your practice, and it's improving every day. Like it is getting better every day because AI, it improves every day, not every year, like other things we've
Right.
had in the past. So get in with it now so we can start to learn your practice. It can learn, how we can train it on if it says this and we don't want it to say that, we change the way it says it. So by the time the technology is where it needs to be, you're already accustomed to having Margot, you're already accustomed to using it, and it's just getting better and better every day. And that's where, when you partner with the right companies like Wisdom, like us, like others out there, realize that we're working on the technology, and then we're trying to find the solution to fix a problem in your practice, not to save the day, not everything, but we know what we know. We know phones at Mango. So we're working on the technology while you're starting to work on the idea of having AI help you in these areas.
So true. And the errors are going to go down drastically. We're humans. We make mistakes. I mean, it's just part of being human is that
Right.
we make mistakes, especially when it comes to insurance billing. That's what's so exciting, is that there is sort of formula when it comes to like, this is the way you should do things, or this is the process. So once it can start to learn that, now insurance doesn't make it easy always, but once it can start to learn it, I cannot wait to see what a year from today, what our world is like with AI.
We should do a year from today and talk about. I look forward to the day where there are companies that you and I both know, that are working on AI all across the practice to solve a problem. One day, all of our AIs are going to connect. So our AI, Margot, when she hangs up with a patient and the patient wants to schedule a new patient appointment, she's going to send a scheduling link that has to do with whatever patient engagement software you use. She's then going to trigger Wisdom to say, here's a new patient, get the insurance information for this patient. The patient's going to be scheduled by the practice and, your practice patient engagement software. You're going to walk in on Monday with a new patient scheduled with the insurance verified at the time that you want. The doctor or the hygienist is going to go back with the patient and have a summary of the conversation of why the patient is there. They're going to be able to talk to the patient. It's all going to be transcribed. They're going to be able to show x-rays. They already can show x-rays of where AI is a second opinion to show where there's something going on. Like the probings are going to be done by AI. So the hygienist, they don't have to ask the front desk to come back and do the probing. Like all of this is going to connect, where we're just going to be there to care for the patient now.
Yes.
We're going to be there.
Yes. And that's our hope, our wisdom, the face-to-face conversations that needs to stay human. A dental office is so chaotic because there's so much going on. When you're trying to call this person and the phone's ringing, you have to get the breakdown of benefits and post the payments and so much. It's like, if we could just breathe and have conversations with our patients and not feel like we're rushing all the time, or there's another fire that's always happening. Can you imagine what our culture would be like at the office? How happy the patients would be, what that would do to case acceptance. Like I cannot wait to see the good that it can do for offices.
But it takes starting to embrace it now.
Yes.
Because you can't wait for a year from now. I mean, you could wait for a year from now, and then that would be like not having your website on the internet a year after. When, like, start to baby step into it now. Start playing with it now. Bring your team in. One of the things I write, half of my book on Brush Up on AI is written to the dentist or office manager to start the conversations with your team, not to go buy everything. Don't go spend all the money and stuff, but let's start talking as a team looking into the new year or anytime. Where could we get more efficient? What problems are we having where we can maybe lean on AI to help us? And baby step into this, because it's here, like you said, it's not going anywhere.
So true. We're going to keep doing these. So we're going to baby step up. Like this is 101. And then we'll keep baby stepping up the ladder with you all on how we're incorporating AI. But last question I want to ask you that just leave our listeners with someone that's leaving today. They've never used AI.
Mhm.
What is the first task that you want them to try this week with their
Good
first
question.
attempt? Yeah.
I want you to download or go to ChatGPT. I want you to think of a problem or a thing you have going on in your personal life. So maybe we're at the holidays, right? I need to make a shopping list of all of the people I need to buy for, or I need my recipes to be organized so I know what order to cook everything on Christmas Day, or I want a goal set for 2026, or whatever. I do this live in a workshop. And so I had somebody who was homeschooling their child and they wanted to do a homeschool schedule. Somebody else they owned an Airbnb and they wanted to write a website, for their Airbnb. So pick something that's weighing on you right now, like whatever, and then download ChatGPT or go to ChatGPT online and start to ask it questions. Now I'm going to tell everybody, you don't have to know exactly how to ask the question. You don't have to prompt it. There are ways to prompt and you can get better about it, but just ask the question, whatever it is, it'll communicate back with you. It'll start a list. It'll ask you the next question and have a conversation with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to do it right. You just keep going. It's not one and done. If you don't like what you get, say, I don't like this. I'm working with a friend right now and she's working on her speaker packet. And I'm like, have conversations with it. I like this word. I don't like that word. I don't like this bullet. Give me another bullet. And have it take something that's weighing on you off of you to see, oh, I could see some of the things that it's doing. And then the next thing I would say is brush up on AI, come to my group. Buy my book if you are interested in kind of like how to talk to your team about it. But on Brush Up on AI, I give tips and tricks like multiple times a week to try things, to different ideas and things that you can use in your practice. So ChatGPT, there's a plug. We should be sponsored. They should sponsor us.
Oh, ChatGPT, hey, sponsor us.
No.
Next podcast. Well,
Right.
I just going to ask where they can get in touch with you to learn more. And so we want you to go on to Facebook groups and Brush Up on AI. Where else
Ask
can
a question.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Collaborate, ask
Yeah.
questions. I'm in the group. I would love to jump in if there's any insights I can give too, but go to the group because now AI is here. We all want to just help you not be overwhelmed with it because it can be really fun when you start getting into it and then name it. We want to know what you name your ChatGPT.
Yeah, there you go.
We got Margot and Max.
There you go. I got to name mine, I guess, Ashley. That's true. Next time we do this, I'll have a name.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear it.
One of the things I'm envisioning for this group that I would love, so I'm challenging you to get to others too, is we have experts in all of the departments of dental who are playing with AI. We have hygienists, we have dental assistants, but there's also some guardrails that we need to have, right? We need to know like insurance and hygienists. I know there's some issues about don't trust this with AI yet, right? I know phones, insurance. The more people we can get in the group so that people can ask questions, like people are asking right now, which software should I trust? Which companies should I look at? That kind of a thing so that we can guide and help each other through this so we don't have to do this alone.
Right. That's so true. Well, this has been such a good and important conversation, especially for teams that just feel like AI is something they're already behind on. So you're not behind. It's not too late. Get started today. And as we look ahead, the future of dentistry, just remember, it's not going to be AI only. It's not going to be humans doing everything manually anymore, though. So the future, I really believe, I know, Laura, you believe it is AI reinforced by those human experts. And that's the approach we have at Wisdom Dental Billing. We use AI to surface patterns, flag issues, and remove friction with dental billing. But every decision, every follow-up, and every dollar still has that experienced dental billing expert in the loop, which that is so important. AI just helps us move a little faster. And when those two work together, you're going to see your practice will be a lot stronger. So Laura, thank you for helping make AI feel less intimidating, more human. And to everyone listening, if this is your first step into understanding AI in dentistry, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. So we're so happy you're here and we can't wait to talk with you next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to a new era of dentistry. If today's episode sparked an idea or solved a pain point, we'd love for you to subscribe and share it with your team. At Wisdom, we're here to help you simplify, streamline, and succeed. Because let's face it, your patients deserve your focus, not your paperwork. Until next time, keep innovating, keep caring, and most importantly, stay smiling.